My mom, 39F, has been dating a man, 40M, for 3 months and she has announced that she will be moving 22 plus hours away from me. But how do I, 19F, tell her that I and everyone else thinks he sucks? I've posted this story on another sub and everyone said I was the asshole, but I thought I should try again. So me and my mom are really close. Like she's one of my best friends and I really couldn't ask for a better mom. She's dated a couple guys, but really only two serious ones. First one was 2020 through 2020, and the second one was 3.5 years. It's been a year since they broke up. However, she's met this new guy, Dan, and I hate him. They've only been dating for maybe 3 months. I've moved 45 minutes away for college, but I still visit pretty regularly. Anyways, from the first moment of hesting him, I already didn't like him. Now, I'm usually very chill about my mom dating, and she's only had two serious relationships and I was completely fine with it, so me hating him was kind of a shock. But last month, I was home before my freshman year of college, he would call constantly. And I mean like 5 to 6 times a day, 1 to 2 hour long phone calls. And whenever he called, she would drop everything and shut herself in her room and completely ignore me. He kind of ruined my last week at home because she spent so much time on the phone with him, and I really wanted to spend some bonding time with her before I left. I told her that I didn't really like him, but she brushed me off. All of a sudden, maybe a month or so ago, she announces that she's moving 22 plus hours away from home with him at the end of the year. Mind you, in her last year's relationship, it took her a year for me to even meet him. So hearing this was incredibly shocking, especially since I hadn't even met him yet. I already told her I think she's moving way too fast, but yet again, she brushed me off. I think I finally was introduced to him a couple of weeks ago, and he fucking sucks. Important information, he has two kids. He lost custody of his son, who now lives in Arizona, and his daughter passed from an asthma attack when she couldn't reach her inhaler in time last year. At least I'm pretty sure. My siblings and even a very close friend of mine have met him, and they all said they didn't like him and that he sucked. Upon meeting him, he wouldn't even introduce himself. My mom had to do it. We wouldn't even talk or acknowledge me that whole weekend, even when my mom asked me to bring him something. He's very touchy with my mom in front of me and my twin, which I think is incredibly rude. And the worst of all is that he acts like a kid. My mom has to beg him to get off the phone and talk to her, which he then says no. He needs to know what she is doing every second. My twin took my mom out for lunch one day, and it wasn't even an hour before he started blowing up her phone asking where she was and was super upset that she didn't have dinner for him. He would get annoyed whenever my mom came and visited me to college to have lunch, etc. There's moments where she does look happy with him, but most times she just kinda looks miserable. Just today he threw a hissy fit because she brought the TV out here for me and my twin. We only have one TV in the whole apartment. My mom needs to do everything for him to be happy or he'll be grouchy. She already knows I don't like him, but she doesn't seem to really care. Another thing I'm so torn about is that she never acted like this before and actually hated women who were all over their boyfriends and bent backwards to please him. She always tells me that my opinion is the most important to her, and if she were to ever act like this with a man, then to slap the shit out of her. He currently lives here with us, and when I asked her if he's moving in, she said no, he still has his own place, then followed up with, he stopped paying rent as his place though, so he can help me with the bills here. She's pulling the exact shit my dad did with his girlfriend. I feel completely lost. I know I need to talk to her. My issue is, she's currently watching my cat for me since my school doesn't allow pets in the dorms, and she occasionally buys me groceries too. I'm just super worried that this will ruin our relationship, and I genuinely cannot live with that. She's my mom, I love her so much, but I can't keep living like this where I feel unwelcomed in my own home. I would talk to her this weekend, but I'm not sure how to talk to her about this while he's not around. Any advice would be great. Commenter. If you attack him, she'll defend him. Instead, talk about how she treats you and how you feel. Don't talk about how often he calls her. Talk about how you feel when she spends so much time on the phone when you're visiting. Talk about how it felt when she took his calls in the middle of lunch. Talk about how awkward you feel when they touch each other in front of you. Talk about how much you like spending time with her and how much you'll miss her if she moves 22 hours away. Your message is that you love her and want to spend time with her, but it's hard when she's on the phone. The thing to realize is that this isn't all his fault. Your mom is going along with the phone calls and all the rest of it too. Um, this is kind of a crazy like duality of people right here, right? Because she was literally saying how she didn't want to be this person to her daughter, and that if she was, then to slap the shit out of her. But I don't think that's really what you should be doing in this situation. Anyways, and then she's completely switched up now for this guy, and this guy doesn't even seem like he deserves her, bruh. Like he just kind of seems like he's just like got no purpose in life, you know? He just kind of exists to exist with her and make everyone's life miserable. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he has a purpose. Okay, that's kind of a bit rude, but like, you know what I mean. He's just there to make everyone less happy, right? So hopefully, in the updates, we'll get some good news and like he gets kicked out of here, right? Update. Hi, it's me again. Sorry if this makes no sense. I'm still crying and can't really think properly. First post is on my profile. I hadn't talked to my mom, but every time I came back, she always seemed a little miserable around her, and how he would talk to her. I never said anything because she just kept gushing about him. Basically, this Wednesday after my twin had slept in my bed, they found a plate with a powder substance on it. I immediately knew what it was and called my mom demanding to know what happened. Basically, she said she and her boyfriend had a few friends over and they did it, but not her, and she's so sorry about that. And I forgave her, but I told her it severely crossed my boundaries and felt like my safe space was violated. Whatever. Nothing much happens until like literally an hour ago. He wanted to go smoke, but my mom was not in the mood. He kept looking for her house keys and asking where they were, and she wouldn't tell him. You don't need the house keys. Our apartment has a code that you type and it lets you in, and it wasn't like my mom and I weren't going to lock the door on him. Anyways, he got really pissed and everything blew up. We ended up taking her house keys and refusing to give them up. I just started bawling my eyes out, and he did a half-ass apology to me about yelling at my mom in front of me. My mom said her kids come before anyone else. He left, and my mom started holding me, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I asked her to please leave him. I've been having dreams of her and I where we fight about him, and she basically kicks me out slash doesn't talk to me anymore. Well, she didn't like that, and started to scream at me that people fight, and he makes her happy. I told her she seems fucking miserable around him every time I come back. She then said she always puts me and my siblings above her and that she's tired of it. I'm in college and I need to grow the fuck up. She went on to say that he makes her happy and that he's just an asshole attitude and that's how he talks, and that I don't want her to be happy. People say and do dumb stuff, but it's how you beat that curb that makes the relationship work. She then said that I haven't been exactly welcoming to him, but then turned around and said that she told him not to get close to us. I tried welcoming him, but I can't exactly do that when he completely ignores my existence and doesn't acknowledge that I'm even there. And again, that I'm in college and to grow the fuck up, that not everything is sunshine and rainbows. She then threw my cat in my face, being on how she's scratching up her furniture and was like, "Why did I get you that cat, huh?" And I said that she also wanted a cat and that she surprised me with her, not me. She then said boyfriend, ex, I don't know. She said they were done, but that was before she yelled at me, so I'm not sure. Was picking her up in his car, and she's gonna get her house keys back, and if I'm happy with that. She commented that she just wants one thing for herself that is all hers and not anyone else's. Now I'm sitting here in my closet. I don't know if I should leave. My grandma offered me a ride, but the roads are not the best as we just had a snowstorm yesterday, and it's still snowing up to Monday. I want to leave, but I don't want him hurting my mom. I'm so paranoid something is going to happen. I'm sorry if this makes no sense. Everything is still kind of a blur, and I'm having really bad anxiety right now. Commenter 1. Uber out of there. You should read the book Being Raised by Emotionally Immature Parents. Commenter 2. Your mother is in an abusive relationship. I'm sorry. You need to get out of there. You can't do anything until you've secured your own safety. Also, basically, this Wednesday, after my twin had slept in my bed, they found a plate with powder substance on it. I immediately knew what it was, called my mom demanding to know what happened. Basically, she said she and boyfriend had a few friends over and they did it, but not her, and she's so sorry about that. This might be a lie. Sudden behavior changes, rash decisions, clinging to a partner, ruining previously solid relationships. People can do all that while perfectly sober. But drugs, especially uppers, can help. So if a toxic partner is the main supply line, which may be the case here, this paragraph is a guess, not a guaranteed fact, but hope for the best, prepare for the worst. OP. Yeah, when I was explaining how he's so passive aggressive with her and how she seems miserable, she was telling me that that's just how he acts, and he doesn't know how to act around us, which is like, what? He has a son. Granted, he lost custody of him, but I feel like he should kinda have an idea. I explained it in another comment, but I really hope it isn't this. But with this guy, everything I did know about her has just kind of flipped. Dang, I really don't know. I mean, I don't think this is like a great person for your mom to be around, obviously. I still kind of stand by that. But I don't know what's really going on. I'm kind of lost. So, I mean, I guess there might be some substance abuse going on. That would kind of make sense as to why she's so like clingy to him. You know, I've actually seen something. Now, sorry, this is completely off topic, but it might only take like 30 seconds for me to talk about. Where like someone put like they like did drugs or they didn't do drugs, but there was some sort of drug and they would like give it to a person when they were with them so that they would get like tired or something around them and then they'd like fall asleep easier at night or I have no idea where I'm going with this, but like I'm trying to say that like if you like combine multiple things, then you start associating one thing with that. Like, let's say you always have lunch at like 1 p.m. You'll start associating 1 p.m. with lunch, and you'll start to get hungry around them. Like that's just like kind of the example I'm gonna give. But like, think about it with drugs. Like, if you do drugs with one person, you start to associate that one person with drugs, and if you're not with that person, then you're like feeling withdrawal, maybe, kind of. I don't know. I'm not very smart, so this could be just like stupid. Anyways, let's just read the update two. Update 2. So this all took place yesterday, and I meant to update, but I was tired and overwhelmed with all the support. Anyways, I ended up back to my mom's place that following day. I wasn't really sure what to expect, or whether she would be mad at me, but I needed to talk to her. When I got there, she's up and about cleaning the house. She looks up and greets me. I put my stuff away, and we sit on the couch and watch TV. It was like that for a couple of hours, where we would talk, laugh, but mostly sit in uncomfortable silence. Then my friend texted me saying they wanted to call and play Roblox, so I went in my room to do that. I ended up making myself lunch on that call, and my mom popped in a couple times to say hi. She was definitely in a better mood now. She had to leave to check on her car, whatever. I ended up being on call for about 3 hours. Anyways, my mom comes back and we sit on the couch. She says, I think we should talk about what happened last night. I was looking at my phone, reading some things I wrote, and then I said something like, I feel like this shouldn't be a constant battlefield. I meant with her and her boyfriend fighting, but I think she took it as me fighting for attention for her, which I guess isn't too far. She went on and on about how she struggled balancing time between me and my boyfriend, and the reason he doesn't talk to me because he feels awful for being around me, and my siblings, why he doesn't have custody of his kids and can't see them. She explained that the reason he was in such a bad mood was because I guess she said something about his daughter and she didn't apologize for it. His daughter passed last year from an asthma attack. I'm not sure what she did. She didn't tell me. She went on to say that she is really happy, and she can joke with him and not have to worry about him getting butthurt about the kind of jokes she makes. Which, like, okay, I guess? I told her this situation feels the exact same as my dad and his partner. He moved her in without telling anyone, and I bumped into her on the way to the bathroom. She agreed with me, saying she worried about how that might make me feel. She went on to say that I'm in college now, and our dynamic will change, and she thinks she sheltered me from a lot and didn't let me grow up in a sense. That was pretty much it. She didn't scream or yell, just cried a lot. They're still together. I'm not sure what to feel. There's moments where I'm so angry, moments where I'm sad, but mostly just numb. While I might stay for a day or two for Christmas break, I think I'm going to spend it mostly with my grandma. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the feedback and support. If anyone is still interested, I'll probably update from time to time or keep my profile as some diary, I guess. I'm sorry this isn't the update people were probably hoping for, but I'm slowly navigating everything going on right now. Commenter 1. And the reason he doesn't talk to me is because he feels awful for being around me and my siblings while he doesn't have custody of his own kids and can't see them. Boo-hoo. Sounds like he lost custody for a good reason. You don't sound sheltered to me. She sounds like she's simping for some random loser she just met. She agreed with me, saying she worried about how that made me feel. That's a decent concession, at least. My mom said her kids come before anyone else. Like, at least show that in your actions, though? Glad she was much more receptive to a conversation, though, I guess. Spending your break with grandma sounds like a much more relaxing time. OP. Exactly. Like, I don't know where her mind is at. She's so smart and understands that this probably isn't okay, but throws it out immediately. While I do feel like I kinda had to grow up quicker because all the bullshit with my family, my mom does quite a few things for me. I used to pay for my own phone bill, but now she's paying for it. If I ask for some money, she'll give me some. It sounds bad, but when I usually have a job, I don't really ask anymore. It just kinda depends on where I'm at with work. This might be the most confusing Reddit story I've ever read. Because it's like, nothing's really happening. They're just kind of talking. And that's a good thing, right? You should want to talk to people before you just go and make irrational decisions like everyone else does on Reddit. So, if anything, it's really just like the most confusing yet satisfying resolution I've ever seen because it's like the people are actually talking it through and thinking about their actions and not just making random decisions. And that never happens. Like I'm in shock. Anyways, that's all for the update. So let me know what you all think in the comments below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.